press briefing statement of the Coalition of Unpaid Newly Posted Staffs of GES. Greetings to all the media houses present today, distinguished viewers, listeners, and colleagues. On behalf of the Coalition of Unpaid Teachers in Ghana, I warmly welcome you to today's press briefing. We are gathered here for a very important briefing on a long-standing matter that has already received public attention over the months. These issues remain either wholly unaddressed or only partially resolved. The outstanding issues include: 1. Non-payment of arrears. 2. Non-issuance of staff identification numbers for some teachers. Changes in assumption of duty dates. 3. Then 4. We have errors in management units, ranks, and points. 5. Missing names of teachers on both the master list and revalidation lists. 6. Unvalidated teachers despite having staff identification numbers. 7. Validated teachers without their outstanding arrears. To begin with, our arrears have still not been paid, although the majority of us have now been placed on the payroll. As it stands, the arrears owed amount to 10 months for teachers who assumed duty in January 2025, 14 months for teachers who were placed on the payroll in November, and 15 months for those placed on the payroll in December but assumed duty on 10th of September 2024. We appreciate the Ghana Education Service, GES, for issuing staff identification numbers to most of our members. However, a few teachers are still without staff identification numbers. We strongly urge that these remaining teachers also be issued their staff identification numbers and placed on the payroll without further delay, as they equally deserve it. Furthermore, we have observed that the assumption of duty dates of many teachers have been altered. We are formally calling for the immediate rectification of these dates to reflect the actual dates we assumed duty as teachers, and not any other dates. This issue is very critical, as it directly affects the arrears yet to be paid. We insist that this incorrect assumption of duty dates must be corrected before the payment of our outstanding arrears and salaries. Anything short of this will not be accepted. Additionally, there are errors in management units, ranks, and points for some teachers. We respectfully call on the Ghana Education Service to diligently rectify these inconsistencies for all affected teachers. These errors have unfortunately resulted in some teachers not receiving their salaries for the 2 months that have already been paid, that is November and December 2025. Also, some teachers who duly participated in the revalidation process do not have their names appearing on either the master list or the revalidation list. This development remains difficult to comprehend, especially when these teachers complied fully with all laid down procedures. As a direct consequence, they have still not been issued their staff identification numbers, despite having secured legitimate appointments with the Ghana Education Service. This anomaly requires immediate resolution. Moreover, There are teachers who have been issued staff identification numbers but remain unvalidated for several months of service already rendered. Since the issuance of their staff IDs, their names have not appeared on the Electronic School Payment Voucher, ESPV, thereby denying them their rightful salaries. We consider this situation unacceptable and call for urgent redress. Again, some teachers were validated only after their staff identification numbers had been issued. However, their outstanding salary arrears did not reflect on the ESPV. We are not making excessive demands. Our call is simply for the correction of these inconsistencies and the payment of what is lawfully due us. In conclusion, we firmly call on the government of Ghana, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service to urgently address the following through this press briefing. 1. Payment of all outstanding salary arrears. 2. Issuance of all remaining staff identification numbers. 3. Correction of assumption of duty dates. 4. The rectification of errors in ranks, points, and management units. 5. Inclusion of missing names on both the master and the revalidation list. 6. Validation of teachers who have staff identification numbers but remain unvalidated. And finally, payment of arrears to validated teachers whose outstanding salaries have not been captured on the e-pay slip. We expect these matters to be comprehensively resolved within this month of January 2026. We cannot wait any longer, given that the majority of our colleagues who began work alongside us in September 2024 have received their full salary arrears with effect from September 2024. We urgently need our outstanding salaries to settle accumulated debt, pay our rent, cover healthcare expenses, and meet our basic living needs amid the mounting responsibilities we face. Failure to do so will leave us with no other alternative but to lawfully take to the streets to demonstrate and demand the justice we rightly deserve. Thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless us all. On behalf of the Coalition of Unpaid Teachers from the Colleges of Education and the universities, thank you.
College Desk Ghana. Your excellence, our priority.